surrender to Jehovah.
Hey,
How
it's
are
crazy.
you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am very well.
Bouqu'i. Let's go.
Timmy, you know why I call you Timmy now?
I know.
You know why?
I remember.
How are
Yeah,
you? How is everything?
I'm all right. Thank you so much for having me. Secondly, thank you for being the incredible person that you are. Thank you for. I remember. I can't remember the year, but I remember doing a song with you called Makori. Makori, Mani Baba.
Wow.
So I drop rap, and you also featured in Agidigba remix. So you've been like there for me, supporting my work and stuff. So I really do appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, Timmy, man, I look at you every day and I'm so proud, man. I am so proud. I remember one time we had a conversation in London. Remember, we were on tour in London, and I told you,
Yes,
I
yes,
said,
yes.
Timmy, you don't even see what I see. You were like, oh, I'm frustrated, John, leave me alone. You know, I don't see anything. I said, Timmy, you remember that conversation?
I remember absolutely.
I was like, just keep
Absolutely.
doing it. I said, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. And then I look at you and I'm like, Timmy is I shouldn't call you Timmy, but I'll call you Timmy. You are the poster child for Bookie's Place. Because in Bookie's Place, we don't talk about the glitz, we don't talk about the glam, we talk about the grit and the grind. Those
Mm.
necessary ingredients that make you who you really are. The things
Yes.
that pull your dreams closer towards you. You know, how do I position myself? First of all, who am I? You know, why am I here? Where am I going? How do I get to where I want to go? When? How much do I have to put in work? You know, so when I look at you, you are the poster child for that. So what we do here is when I shut up, I shut up. You're going to tell us your story from the beginning, and then we'll take it from there. So welcome to Bookie's Place.
Yo, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You want me to just talk or you want to ask me any question? I just go ahead.
Just start from beginning. Just start from where you were born, and then just give us your story, and then I'll piggyback on that and we'll take it from there.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've never been able to finish telling this story, but I'm going to try and start, and I'm going to run as fast as I can. And I'm also going to try and encourage everyone wherever necessary. So
Yeah.
I was born in Kaduna. I was born in Kaduna. I was born in a village called Nasarawa. I know we have Nasarawa State, but we have yes, somebody says stuff from Nasarawa. I am Adiswa. One of my singers goes
I
there.
said,
Yes. All right. So I was born in Nasarawa village. We were family of nine, good parents and seven kids. Um, now it was. I mean, this I didn't know. You know, when people say when I teach people right now, I say every situation that you go through in life is a platform. Every hard time you go through in life is really a platform because soonest is going to be a place where you're going to be able to. It's going to be the stories you're going to teach to bless people. And hey, Laurie, I see you. To bless people,
sorry.
to change people's lives. So no story is a. I dare to say, no storm is a waste. Every trouble, God does not allow storm for just allowing it. He allows that so that there is a blessing in it. So even though you go through some tough time and then finish everything, it won't be like you came out of it and say, yes, thank you, Jesus, I got out of it. Woo! No, God is in the business of saying that even the storm is not a waste. There is a blessing in the storm. Anyways, so hearing me talk about hearing people all over the world wanting to hear the story of something that looked normal for me and feeling like special and big is interesting. So first, the fact that I was born in this place where when you open the door to my house, the first things you see, I mean, first neighbors or in quote that you see is this whole big what we call gutter, canal, or whatever you want to call it, small one, and you have pigs. Well, I mean, not the kind of pigs you have in America where they cut them to eat. No, pigs smelling. Those pigs no longer scared of humans. The only thing that make those pigs to get off and stand up is when we go and boil hot water and pour on them. That's when they stand up. If not, they will lie down. Whilst we're sleeping in our own house, you're hearing them snore. And pigs, trust me, their snoring is epic. They snore, and that is where I slept every day, in this particular room where we slept on bare floor. I mean, the only thing that we had to sleep on then, if you have a chance to sleep on it, is a mat. I don't know that you have anything called mat in America, but mat, I know Bouquie, you know what mat is.
I grew up in Nigeria. Don't worry.
Yeah, sure. So it's mat. We sleep on the mats, and the mat is almost as good as sleeping on the floor, just that we're not on the floor properly. So that was where I grew up from, and I remember as a child I hawked. I don't know. We sold. I remember there was one interview with one American people. She was saying, "What you mean hawked?" I said, "I carry banana. I sell banana. I sell coconuts. I sold garden eggs. I sold all of these things. I carried them on my head. We would trek different places." Going, and then we just hope that we can sell and come back, because that's the only way we survived. My mom was a petty trader. My dad was a driver, right? Bus driver. My mom was selling all those small stuff on the street there. And you know what? And some of the stories I'm going to share with you, I've never shared to anybody before. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and share it. So, I remember that. Okay. Quickly, we went to school with barefoot. I mean, parents couldn't afford sandals and shoes and all of those things. I mean, we literally would manage to eat once a day, basically. You know, that's where, I mean, it's interesting how people don't believe when I say some of these things. Some people don't believe. I remember sharing this testimony when I was doing the Nara song, which is where God reminded me where I was coming from. You know, how sometimes you don't know that you have grown, that God has really taken you to different levels until somebody reminds you of where you're coming from. You know, if you're staying with a child, if you have a child in the house, you won't notice that the child is growing. It's somebody that has not been around for like 1 year that'll come and say, "What? This boy is growing." Say, is it grown? That's the way even our lives are. So many times we go through stuff and we grow, things get better, but as humans, we tend to forget that God has been doing a lot in our lives until God reminded us. So I was in this place where I was complaining bitterly, saying that what's going on, everybody, nothing is working, and all of these things. And God just sort of reminded me, because I was planning a concert there in House on the Rock. And I remember that they had given me the church, and I always wanted, you know, it was so bad that when I got to Lagos, I was scared of attending House on the Rock. Like, I felt like people like me are not meant to attend that kind of church. I was going to a church in Oshodi. That was where I was squatting in Oshodi. I was broke in Oshodi. Everything was not right, and I always heard about this House on the Rock and this guy called Pastor Paul, and how he's amazing, and how and every once in a while I see him on TV and I try to listen to his man. I think, man, this guy can preach, all those kind of things. But how can I go to VI? Where will I start? How would I say I'm entering VI? Do you know that it was until Extreme started, which was 2004, either 2004, 2005, that was my first time of getting into VI. I stayed on the mainland all through like 5 years or 6 years of my being in Lagos, coming to Lagos, because I came to Lagos in 1999. I remember the time I came with Extreme to VI.
What brought you to Lagos?
I'm going to get to that. It was hustle. But I'm just trying to say, when I got to VI, I remember that me and my guys, we had an event. So we went to sing somewhere, and this place that we sang, they didn't pay us, but we still gave it 100%. We came down, and then I remember. So well, I wish I have time to be teaching everything about, because sometimes when you pay attention to, when you put price to everything, sometimes you lose the blessing that comes with it. Because I mean, most of us as artists, were places I went to sing for free or play for free. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now we went to sing in this place, and this pastor just said, "You know what? I said, I love you guys. Can you guys come to my church?" We say, "Where is it?" Somewhere in Lekki. I said, "Lekki." We looked at ourselves. What? Lekki? And then that's how we the next day got into official Arole, I see you. That's how we got that's how we got into this bus, hired this bus, and drove going to the island to go and minister. Guess what? We passed and we weren't sure, so the driver wasn't sure. We drove for like 1 hour. After we crossed through Anthony, went and we were driving, so there was all this bridge everywhere. We weren't sure which one to enter. I remember getting into, we turned one corner, and guess what? After like 1 hour, 30 minutes, we saw ourselves back to Oshodi.
Wow.
I'm not even joking, because it was our first time. Now thinking about the fact that I was going through a lot that time, and God sort of reminded me that, do you remember that you dreamt of visiting this church where you're about to have this concert? You know how I was complaining so bad about the fact that things were not working very well. Things were not working very well. And God said, there was one time you dreamt about, you were scared, you thought that people like you are not meant to be members of go to this church, attend this church. And you are having a major concert with Kirk Franklin in this same church, your own event, yet you are complaining how things are not working well. And I said, oh God, yeah, that's so true. And God said, this is even just, do you remember that you were once in one village where you were born, where there was nothing at all? Then I got into tears. And that's when the whole, you've done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. If I had 10,000 talk, it's still, that's how the write-up came about. It wasn't planned, it wasn't supposed to be for that concert. So every time we allow problem, every time we avoid problem, we actually avoid blessings. It's important that you go through it. There's always on the other side. Yeah, this one is part of it, yes.
Yeah,
One of my sisters those days, she's here. Say from CMS back to Tottenham Bridge. Yeah, she was part of that trip. I remember that she's in America right now. She was part of that trip. So at least I have somebody that can attest to it. Now, guess what? Growing up as a child, went to school without shoes or sandals, and I remember when I was still in about primary 4 or thereabouts, and my dad had like 4 buses, and they kept getting issues. He sold, and there was really only one. And at some point, just felt we're struggling to survive and to eat. What if he becomes the conductor in the bus and I become driver, so that we can save the money that we used to pay the conductor and have more money to take care of the house. And that's how I became a conductor at age about 10. So imagine my age at that point. And you know how our bus went from the town to my village, the village where I was born. And then the name of this place is Nasarawa. I remember my dad scolding me because I couldn't pronounce, because I pronounced Nasarawa too much. Nasarawa. And I could not pronounce it properly. And I said, Naswa. But I said, it is not Naswa, it's Nasarawa. I have to pronounce it so that people don't think that we're going somewhere else. Now, one of the things I've never shared to anybody, I remember one day, I was driving with my dad. I was in the conductor's side, and I remembered my dad is late now, so this is quite emotional for me. I remembered whether police guys or these touts, was asking my dad for money or something, and he couldn't give them, and they drew him down, and I remember them just hitting him and beating him up. And that happened in my presence, Now, I've never shared this to anybody, but it was so tough watching my dad get beaten up.
Mm-hmm.
in my presence, and you know, and so I'm not going to talk about that. So I remember one day we were at home, and you know, we suddenly heard that my dad, after driving, stopped somewhere and came down. He wanted to go and eat lunch or something, and then he passed out. He fainted, and you know, and everybody rushed. What's happening? What's happening? They brought the news back to us that he just fainted, and this because the guy walked so hard, so hard, and you know, and I remember that, you know, his life was and he was very godly. He loved God. Everything. He was a Bible superintendent, and he taught people Bible schools and everything. And I saw my dad suffer until he died. Literally, suffer. Went through a lot. Tried to survive. Tried to take care of his children. My mom worked so hard. My mom would wake up as early as as early as 3 a.m., 4 a.m. prepare. Then she was selling okrika, like all these used clothes. And I remember she would buy some of them, and I would wash them, put blue inside of them to make it shine. And then you remember starch. We'll buy starch, put it to make it very thick, and then we'll iron it I'll throughout the night I'll iron probably 150 t-shirts and stuff. And as early as 4 o'clock, she'll pack everything to the bush market. I mean, so that she can sell. I remember so many nights my mom would come back around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I was really biggest child because my elder brother has gone to be a houseboy already somewhere. I mean, went to Lagos, and then myself, I would have to stay and like be the one taking care of the house. And then most times my mom would come back around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. and then she would get ready. Sometimes I'll be waiting for her, I would be so scared. And then when she returns, she'll quickly arrange things again. And as early as 4 a.m., she'll leave again. Just give us small money that we can use to buy what we call cocoa, this water kind of pap in Kaduna that time. Cocoa, we buy akara to just eat and survive. So, I mean, it was very, very tough. I mean, some of these things I've never really told anybody. There's so many parts of me that I've never shared. I mean, people got a bit of my story one time and they thought that they've heard everything. But, you know, I remember that the moment that I was done with primary school at 12, because most of us, the moment we were done with primary school, they sent us to go and become a houseboy because there was nothing else to do. And I went to one of my uncle's place, became a houseboy, cleaning, washing, cooking, taking care of the whole house. And I remember this guy beating, like, I can literally still remember how I would try to starve myself just to make him happy. Sometimes I mean, even when I went back to see my parents and they give me one little cash, that time say, oh, my son, just take. If I come back whilst I'm sleeping in the night, he will put hand in my pocket and search and take off every money that is in my pocket. I remember insisting that I wanted to go to school. I begged and I insisted, so I managed to start going to secondary school that time. And I mean, I remember one time that he put water in the fridge, just cold water. And I'm not allowed to drink water from the fridge. I'm not allowed to drink water from the fridge. I'm not allowed to turn on the TV. I'm not allowed to play music. So I would come back home because he was also doing business. He was selling mattress. So I would stay in the shop and sell if I can sell, then come back home to prepare the house and everything. This guy, when he comes back, I would have cleaned everywhere as much as I can. He will use his hand to see if he can feel any sand in the carpet. If he feels any sign of sand, I'm in trouble. I mean, so like I was saying, I remember one day I went to take water. I mean, I didn't go. He had another boy that was serving him. So the guy came in. The guy does not know the rule of the house. The guy went, took water from the fridge, drank. The man came back and said, who drank water from this fridge? I didn't know he was asking. By the time I came in, before I could even know what was happening, that's when I, for the first time, passed out. He gave me this, when you're not expecting a slap or anything, he gave me a slap that I lost consciousness. When I got by myself, I wasn't sure what happened. Even when I was doing that, I was wondering, who is this? I was looking at him, I was wondering, where am I like this? What's going on? What's going on? I mean, that was how difficult it was surviving growing up. I remember he would put his radio then and put it in a particular volume, and I'm not supposed to touch the radio, but I love music so much, so I would go and play music, and I would have increased the volume just to enjoy. And I became so sensitive that I knew when it was going to be coming back. I could sense it. So I'll go and turn off the radio, put the cassette exactly where it is, make sure I arrange everything. I'll forget. I didn't know that it was through the volume that he tampered. He would just come. However, he always knew that I was touching those things. Now, I'm not allowed to watch anything, and I'm not also allowed to go to other people's house to watch. So if I go to, anytime he comes back to the house and I'm not in the house there where I'm supposed to be, and I've gone to some other place maybe to go and watch him, and the people, neighbors say, come now, what are you doing? You're just at home, you're not there, come and stay with us, not how people, and then you go and stay there. By the time you finish, he's back, I'm in trouble. I remember one day, this guy said he was going to flog me. I can't remember what exactly I did. Nothing bad. I did not steal, I don't do anything. I stabbed myself to make him, like, he said, have you eaten? I said, no, I'm not eating, just to see whether he's going to just be in a good mood. I remember one day, I don't know exactly what I did, and this guy told me that he's going to flog me 240, 60. And when he's flogging me, I'm naked. I take off my clothes, he would tie my hands to the bed, and I'll lie down like this. And he did the first 60, went to sit down, came back, did the second 60, went to sit down. He was tired, he couldn't continue. Remember one day, he was flogging me so bad, like I still have the mark here, where he uses this cable, electric cable, and then the moment he hit it, it tore my hand, and I ran out, blood all over my hand, and I was wondering, is this what life? There was nothing else I knew about life apart from being dealt with, being poor, going through all of these things. That was what I knew. So even just managing to rework my life to become a normal human being I cannot forget the day that it became suicidal, because he was sticking with me so much that I'd run to go to my parents' place. That's why I would not allow my child to go and stay with anybody to go and, I don't even care. Every time my child goes to anywhere, I'm thinking, what's going on? So I remembered one day, he had just left home and told me that he's going to be back, and he didn't come back for 3 days. There was no food in the house. Apparently he traveled to Zaria or something. And then when he got back, I had gone to my parents' house to go and just eat and for that day, and came back. As I was coming back, because of my sensitivity that was too strong at this point, I felt like this guy is probably back. I'm just telling you one side of my life. This is nothing compared to everything. I sense that this guy might just be back home. I was checking, I was looking. Then normally I would just open the door and just jump in, but I just stayed in front of the door. I remember opening the door gradually, because it made me very smart. And I pushed the door, opened it. He was one side of the room, and then I saw him. Now my offense is that I went to my parents' place. Even though I've been at home for the last 2 days, and then I was hungry, there was no food, and I had to go to my parents' place, tell them that this guy, I don't know whether I traveled or something. And this was between 12 and 15, 12 years and 15 years. And then I remember he just, out of anger for whatever, always sad, always irritated, he told me that today he's going to flog me, that the only reason why he's going to leave me is two things: either blood comes out from my eyes or my tongue falls out. I just shut the door back. I said no. I just left. I remember going somewhere and I just thought, what can I do? I didn't even know what I was doing. I said, I've gone home 3 times. My parents would tell me, some of my uncles would come. Why is he coming back? You guys want to spoil this boy. Let him go back. They are training him. He's going to be better. He's going to grow up to become. I'm looking at them. No, this is not. I don't even know how to explain. And I remember one time I went and broke bottle that night. I said, I'm going to just stab myself and just, if I want to die, let me die. Or let my parents see that this I can't cope with this. I didn't know what suicide meant or was, but I was at the verge of that. And then at some point, as I wanted to do that one, and I remember that I had some of my classmates, and I said, you know what, let me just trek to that place and tell them whether they're going to allow me to sleep, because my house was in the village. This guy lived somewhere in the town. I remember walking straight to the place, and I got there like around to 12. This was when I was just turning 15. And the mother of the house said, what? No, what's going on? What are you doing here? I said, no, my uncle. Because my friends that are her kids have an idea of what I was going through, and they said, you know what, mommy, it's true. This guy, this is that man, this is. And I said, sleep here. Tomorrow I'll take it to your parents. What nonsense? And I remember sleeping over, and the next morning, his family wakes up, and I saw a family eating together. I saw a family staying together, and I became emotional that night again. I was saying, that morning, I was saying, no, what am I going to, why is my family not like this? Why can't we stay together? Why can't we eat together? Why can't we just spend time together? Why can't we be happy? Why would I have to go and become so? And I got, that morning, this is as a child, and around 10, 11, this man takes me to my parents' place. And I remember that as we're getting down, we saw my mom running everywhere, crying, shouting, like almost naked. Apparently, this guy had come to my house to go and check whether I was back home. And he discovered that I was not back home yet. So he guessed that something probably would have happened to me. So he told my parents asked my parents, did I come to see them? They said, yes, I came yesterday. And then they said, he has not seen me since yesterday. That I didn't come back to the house. So my mom thought that I'd been kidnapped or something. So my mom was crying, running around the whole street, shouting. And this mom brings me back. And we saw my mother crying. I said, no. And guess what? It's even my mother's brother. So I said, no, that's not what happened. He came to our house and this, that. That was when my parents now decided finally not to allow me to go back. Like, if he will come and lie that I didn't get back to him, that means this guy could do anything. He's married now happily, and guess what? I help his kids for school fees sometimes, because I sworn to myself that I must retaliate. But after a while, he discovered that sometimes some things, I don't know why, but every once in a while, I have one of his daughter on scholarship in the university as we speak. So it's interesting how life is, how life can just turn around. Now, so throughout my SS1, SS2, SS3, I managed to, struggle through school. Because it was a private school, I couldn't pay school fees, I couldn't do anything. So I got into football. So my first love and my first career was like being football, and I did machinery for different people. I was getting paid, and do you know that I just managed. Throughout my school, my 3 years of SS1, SS2, SS3, I managed to finish paying my SS1 school fees. So SS2, SS3, I couldn't finish. I was used to the embarrassment of being sent home almost every day. Like I literally, it was only school that I had friends. It was in school that I could have joy. But a lot of times I got to school, sometimes from the assembly, sometimes you just be sitting in class just to pick out your book. They just say, all right, if you're not paying your school fees, stand up. And home. I remember one day we didn't go home, and some of my friends went to start playing table tennis somewhere, and the owner of the school came back and told them to go and call us, because we didn't know, for him, we're embarrassing the school. It looked like, and then we thought they had allowed us, so we're not laughing at people that had gone home. I say, see, we stayed back. I remember going back, and the guy got us out and told them to go and bring this raw sticks from the bush. They cut them raw. And he said that he's flogging 12, each of 12 must break on your body before they leave you. Like, he literally, and told us to bend down like this. So it was on our back. So we bent down and held our leg so that our back is like this. And I just was watching when he was flogging the first person. You know how some of those sticks will not break? He will keep going on until it breaks. And it was 12. It wasn't flogging you 12 strokes. It was 12 sticks must break before you're allowed. And the whole school was quiet. You'd be hearing, wow, the echo and everything. Like, literally, before you got your turn, you knew you were dead already. I remember being flogged because of school fees. Flogged and flogged and flogged. And I remembered, managing to get through that. I mean, till now I couldn't collect my result because they seized everybody's result that I had not paid yet. Even if you have not paid one time, talk to us if you've not paid for 2 years. That's 6 terms. And then guess what? The school has shut down. So I couldn't get any of those results again. And let me flip it. And somehow, last 2 years in Atlanta, a university gives me a honorary doctorate degree. This guy that managed to finish secondary school without his result and never went to university. Now he's now a doctor. I can flip all of those things, but I don't have time because I just want to share to you some things. And I hope this encourages people. There are some things. So I remember staying at home from 1997 when I finished secondary school. And I stayed at home till 1999. And you know how those schools, universities that just started, will just send you. So Madonna was one of the universities that started. I remember I'd gone to ABU briefly, informing that I was a student. I never got admission, and they chased us out one time. And then that's Ahmad Bello University. And I left. I said, what else? I wrote JAM. And then I didn't meet up the cutoff mark for where I was going to go. And then Madonna University sent me an admission. I said, what? And I told my parents. Then I got me transport. I got into a bus and went to Madonna University. And I got there and I was looking at the whole system. I said, no, I was a radical in school. This cannot be. I cannot go to this kind of school that they say you cannot do this, cannot do that. I stayed there for like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. They finalized my admission and everything. I said, no, I can't cope again. I left. I remember from there, I was thinking, I had just little money that was not enough to take me back anywhere. No phone to communicate to anybody. And I went to this bus station where all these luxurious buses. And I remember thinking, should I go back to Kaduna? There's this place, Lagos. My elder brother is there, but I don't know where he is. Or should I go to Lagos? Kaduna, Lagos, Kaduna, Lagos. I saw people shouting, Kaduna, Kaduna, you go there, Lagos, Lagos. That was my decision about coming to Lagos. That was how I got to Lagos. Now, guess what? In those buses, there is people sitting on the seats. There's attachments. There are 2 kinds of attachments. One sitting attachment, one standing attachment. My money could afford standing attachments. So the buses like this, they are sit here, they are sit here. The aisle is where the attachment is. And then you have one small chair they put, you can sit down on the floor or you can stand. If each of them have their different price. And I remembered just standing because that's all I could afford. From Anambra to Lagos.
That's like how many hours?
Then it was close to 9 hours or so, 10 hours, 9, 10 hours.
Wow.
And I got to Lagos not knowing where to go to. Now literally I can fly. I remember flying with my son and I bought him a business class ticket. We were flying from Nigeria to Canada. And I remembered all of those times when coming to Lagos was standing. Now I could fly with my son in a business class to a place like Canada. Before then, I'm just going to touch a bit about and I'm not going to share too much about what has changed, but just to let you know that most of the people that you see around today and you think, I don't know whose story, now, do you know that I was sleeping under the bridge in Oshodi? Because that's where the bus stopped us. So my first home in Lagos was under the bridge. And anything could have happened to me. I could have gotten into drugs. I could have become a tout. I could have become... And that's how I started surviving. That's how hunger dealt with me in Lagos too. It felt like it was, I couldn't explain. The only life I knew was struggle, was pain, was people telling me that I was not good enough. Everything was totally negative. There was nothing positive from anywhere, no encouragement from anywhere. In fact, people that I thought were doing well were also poor. In fact, the people that sometimes people tell us that men are poor, and these people that tell us that we're poor, they're actually poor. But our own poverty was deeper. So they could look at us and say, man, this not wow, this not life, right? And guess what? I mean, but before I even left Kaduna, I remember one time I was not looking for a job after we're done with secondary school. Do you know what it means to be going to one company, an industry? Because I just wanted to go and work in a factory. I don't know what factory it was, whether it was a textile factory or something. Do you know what it means to be going there for what? For close to 6 months just to get a job. Every morning we shoot. You know how you have people that do all these bricklayers and all this, when they stay where they build and they just wait every day whether anybody's going to get. That's how we're going every day. I still remember one day that I stayed and there was no shield. So you're going to stay under the sun. And then somebody will come out once and just say, Mohammed. And everybody will rush and come to the gate thinking that, and they just call only one person out of maybe about 100 and something people. And then guess what? Every time somebody will promise you, don't worry, I'm working on your papers, they are going to call your name this week. Make sure that you don't miss anything. They never called my name once. Now, I've always told people that every rejection is not necessarily rejection. Most of them are actually redirection. You never, ever, ever get shut down except you don't serve God. I mean, if you are serving God, everything that happens, that's why I said even storms are not a waste. Even problem, battles are not, God will not allow you lose any. Even if you lose a battle, you cannot lose the war. He is already prepared you for it. So every one of those things, now hear me talking about all of these things right now, and it feels like a testimony. But before then, how could you explain that level? Losing my dad sleeping and couldn't wake up. Just like that. And then the things that I saw my mom go through. And then getting to Lagos and nothing was working. Now, I was doing houseboy. My other brother was doing houseboy. I was doing houseboy. My younger brother was a houseboy. The one following him was a houseboy. The only person that did not become a house was because the next was a girl. And she was my mom in Kaduna then. But the rest of us was once houseboys. Different places. Serving. So getting to Lagos, everything was so tough that one day, because I'd had some little experience playing, and the church where I was born, there was no no keyboard, nothing. We only had ekwe, udu, ogene. That was the instrument. So then they would do soft notation, and that. So some of the things that you think are tough, they are actually good trainings. That was where I understood what do re mi fa sol la ti do was. And then I stayed in this place. I was battled because I was quite a bit intelligent. So sometimes the children department wanted me because I was quite young. Sometimes the choir wanted me. Sometimes they would clash about wanting me. And I remember, I remember one day. No, the plates in my house, the spoons in my house I arranged them, set up a drums in my room. I was playing. I don't know what I was playing. I remember going to my first time of experiencing the keyboard was when I was still with my uncle. I went to school and this boy came with this toy keyboard. I almost lost my mind. I begged him every day. I would go to his house and beg him to give me the keyboard to stay for 1 hour. I would just be looking for notes of song. Amen, amen. I was just I'll look for it. Sometimes one day I'm already getting do do re mi. I didn't know what do do re mi meant. I'll look for it. I remember that at some point, and I'm going to go back to my uncle a bit, but I mean, that's how I started learning.
Tim, we have 6 minutes more. Do you have 30 minutes to come back when it cuts off?
That always happens to me. Okay.
So if it cuts off, we're going to start immediately. Okay. We're not going to miss a beat. Okay.
Okay, so basically, I remember that I I managed to start playing the keyboard a bit from this boy, my schoolmates, that comes with his keys every time. And my uncle, one of the things that happened between me and my uncle, he plays the guitar. And he was the music director in his church. Now, remember, he's in the town. I was
Your wicked uncle
Yes.
was the music director.
Yes. I just want to say you're not intelligent. Your second name is intelligent. Now, he was music of the church. And he played the guitar. Now, guess what? I love the guitar so much. But when he drops the guitar, I have a guitar here. When he drops it, he will give small mark somewhere here. Very tiny mark. And I would not know. But he has told me never to touch that guitar. And when he leaves, I'll just pick up the guitar and I'll start looking for notes. Then I'll go to church because I was just in the children's department. I'll go to church. I'll be scoring. I'll be studying what they're playing in church. Then it was more of do mi so fa la do mi so do mi so ti re so. I'll start putting as I'm going back home. Just from as I'm trekking home, get home. I'll just try to sleep. I remember he's around. I'll wait. The moment he steps, I'll just pick the guitar. I'll start looking for the sound. So instead of me, I have never demonstrated this before. Do mi so is as simple like this. But instead of me to, I'll be doing like this. I'm just looking for the sound. I'll go through it, then I'll manage to get. By the time I do it over and over again, one day I just thought, you know what? What are the other strings in this guitar for? And I'll say, maybe I should try looking for this sound under. And I'll do. And I say, oh, man, in my mind, I have discovered something that nobody knows. And then I'll start doing, I'll say, wow, you know how you want to celebrate? You want, come on, can I get people to come and clap and shout? Nobody is there.
Nobody.
Now beware when you do some of the things that you do when nobody is celebrating you. Those are times that you can never take for granted. Forget about what people are doing now, Team Godfrey. No, the best moments was those times that nobody could celebrate me. I knew I was real to myself. I knew I was not faking. I knew I was not trying to impress anybody. I was just walking to get the sound that I heard. And this guy would come back and discover that the guitar shift was no longer in the same place it was. There's no question. There's no asking you why. Take off your clothes, lie down. He will start flogging me. Guess what? That was what I went through learning how to play instruments. That was what I went through. And I'll tell my son, do you know that I bought you a keyboard? I got you a teacher. Do you know what it is? That you're not even trying to show some. And guess what? I did this. This guy kept beating me for touching his guitar. I kept going back to the guitar. Because he played the rhythm guitar, I chose not to play the rhythm guitar. I chose to go for the bass. Because I felt like I just want to learn something else from what he was doing. I hated him so much that I didn't want to play the instrument that he played. And that's how I started playing bass guitar. And I could play, I started learning, started getting, then I started playing. Oh, so one day, because then beating me was not, I mean, I felt like I was going to die every time he beat me, but I knew something was calling me. I knew destiny was calling me. So one day I remembered one of his friends visited him. I just went and picked up the guitar. And he looked at me. I just started playing. The guy said, what? You can play? I told him, why are you not letting him come to the choir rehearsals? Why this? Why? And the guy says, no, but can you play? I didn't know that you could play. Said, no. And then when the guy left, take off your clothes. And then another person came again. I took the guitar, started playing again. And out of so much pressure, he allowed me to come to rehearsals. And guess what? I'm not even joking. When I left this place in 1993 or 94, then I couldn't go to my prayer because it was the same church, but different branch. I couldn't go to my parents' church again because I felt like they don't have instrument, nothing. I will find my way to go to that church. Yes. And I started going to the choir practice and they said, oh, okay, come in. So And they had these guys that was already playing for the church. That was very, very good. Joining the choir was quite interesting. They did interviews. They asked me. They told me, I can't forget that experience. This is honestly, this is just one side of my story. And then I remember that one day they told me, want to know whether you can join the choir. You are really old enough to be a good member of the choir and all of this. And they said, okay, will you follow instructions every time we give it? So I said, why not? Because it was a dream come true for me. So why not? I'll follow anything you tell me. I would do. Meanwhile, I was still scared of this, my uncle. Very, very scared of him.
And he was there.
He was there. And then I remember they told me that, okay, we're going to try you. I was still young that time. We're going to try to be sure that you follow instruction. Look at that guy there on the keyboard. That was the HOD of the choir. My brother was the music director. They say, to prove that you're going to obey us, and I can't forget that test, go and slap that guy there. If you follow this instruction, you know that you're going to be a good and obedient. I said, slap him. Why? He said, you say you want to join the choir, that's what you're going to do. And then that's how I went to the guy, because mine was just, I want to join the choir. I told the guy, I'm so sorry, sir. I've been asked to slap you. He said, are you serious? I said, yes. It's okay. Again, wow. I just went back. They said, no, you cannot join the choir, not ready. Because that means you cannot follow every instruction, not everything that you're told that you should do, especially when it's evil. I said, no, but you guys, no. They said, no, you can't join the choir. That's how I left. And I was sad. And after like a month, they called me back. It's okay. I mean, do you understand what we're trying to teach you that time? I said, yes. I will not. Guess what? I started playing the guitar. It was from the choir I started playing. Of course, I played the guitar, I played the bass. But then we were disciplined. We're only going to play 1, 4, 5 chords, like do, fa, sol. And because me, I wanted to experiment some things. This same uncle of mine, if I'm playing like do, I now play because I'm Igbo church. I'll now go to some minor chords, notes on my bass. As I'm playing like this, if he hears it, I can't forget the day that he gave me a knock whilst I was playing. Because I went to a note, you know, as you're playing, you can't scratch your head, nothing. Thing went from here, went down my whole system, went down to my, and as I was playing, tears was coming out from my eyes. I was playing and tears was rolling out because I couldn't. That was how we are not allowed to do anything else, because he couldn't play most of those things, and I'm bringing some foreign kind of things into the music of the church. And guess what? Fast forward 1 year later, they wanted to do election for, I don't know, somebody now nominated me to be a music director. And then they said, okay, affordable, they nominated, okay, we're going to vote whoever. They do normally voting. After they take people for 2 years. After 2 years, it changed. And he has been a music director for like 6 years. And then guess what? By the time they were selecting, I had more people voting me than him. That is how I became the music director. So my first time of being a music director was in 2004 or 2005. No, 1994, 1995. And I won him from being a music director. I was scared when they were voting. Like, you guys, what are you guys doing? Like, so people started shouting, yeah! Some of my friends came carrying me, yeah! I was saying, I'm dead. I actually forgot that I was not staying with this guy again. Do you know that one of the most biggest challenge that we have as people is that sometimes we leave a particular situation that we're going through, but the thing has not left us. Sometimes you are out of a relationship, but the pain of that relationship is not allowing you move on. Sometimes some pain that you went through before, sometimes some things that you thought people have told you that you're not able, they live with you to the point that as you're getting into another life, they become the problem that you have moving forward. Nobody's holding you again, nobody has stopped you, but you just feel like, man, nobody loves me, nobody. So then, as people were celebrating, I was scared. As if the guy is going to get me naked and flog me again.
The stronghold in the mind.
I became music director, and that's how I started training the choir. We stopped doing too many Igbo songs, and that's how I remembered. I still have a picture somewhere. As just between the age of 15 and 18, I remember playing and singing at the same time for the first time in my life. And I was on this keyboard, and I was leading sing-outs. Then all the sing-outs from Kenoli, all those guys were our heroes that time. And I was playing sing-out, jam, 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 jam. I just play, and the church will say, what? You playing and singing at the same time? Oh, great. Oh, I'll play the bass. I'll put it on my head. I'll play. I still all of those things. So those were my little experiences before I got to Lagos. And getting to Lagos, after I stayed for a couple of months, squatting, finally looking, I finally saw my brother, started squatting in his place. We were so much in one room. And I remember one day, out of hunger, I went to one church. My brother normally attends, one of my uncles in Lagos, he normally attends that church. And I went to that church. I just walked in. When I walked in, I looked at everybody in the church. They were rehearsing luckily for me. I just sat down. Somebody came to meet me and said, who are you? I said my Igbo name. I said, what are you looking for here? I said, nothing. I just feel like, just coming to join you guys. That I just want you guys to give me a job. They said, job? How? For what? I said, if I hand you a choir in 3 months or 6 months, everything will change. And I remember this man looking at me and walking away. And I went back to the next rehearsals. The one thing you cannot do to me is walk away on me. The one thing you cannot do to me is tell me that I cannot. The one thing you cannot do to me is tell me that I am not good enough. That does not make me feel bad. That charges me up. I saw the guy walking out of me. I said, what? I came back the next time again. I sat down. I came back the third time again. The guy said, what are you looking for? I said, that's my uncle there. That's my uncle there. I can change this choir. Just give me one chance. And the guy said, okay, come.
Determination.
Everyone was looking at me. I'm not even joking. Some of the things I played that day, I'd never played it before in my life. I remember the guy just told me, okay, go to the keyboard. Say you can play keyboard. I went to the keyboard. All I remember was I played better than the original keyboard in the church. I said, what? He said, you can play other instruments. I said, yes, I can play other instruments. He said, can you play drums? I said, give me the stick. Give me the stick. I played what? Everyone looking at me, he can play 2 instruments. I said, I can play the guitar too. They gave me the guitar. I played all this Oliver the Coke thing. Oliver the Coke. Say, what? I said, I can play the bass guitar too. I said, no, I can't bass guitar. I didn't even bother playing that one. Like, I put it in my head like I normally do in Kaduna. I started playing. They said, everybody gave up. I said, do you guys have any other instrument in this church?
I will play.
I remember them telling me that no, everybody was just wild. You could play all of these instruments. And the next thing they told me was that, okay, you can come and take us. I said, I can train your choir. I was just boasting, and I'd never done everything I was saying I was going to do. You know what? Is it not interesting that at one point in the Bible, and I know this might sound very foreign to some of us, we are encouraged to lie. Somewhere in the Bible says, let the weak say I am strong.
Okay, that's fun.
You are weak. Let the poor say, that's not the condition. If you look at it normally, you're lying, you're weak or you're poor, and you say you're rich. That's a lie. That was what I was doing that time. I just told them, and they told me, I remember, and this why I'm still here. She met me when I was in that church. So I just said, what? At the moment they told me, okay, let's talk. And guess what? My salary every month, 3,000 naira. What is it in dollars? 3,000 naira is maybe
like
$10 or something.
I know $10 is like, that's like $8. That's like $6 something.
A month. That was my salary. And the moment they told me this 30K or 3,000 naira, I was jumping in my heart. I just needed to leave there to show my excitement. The moment I left, I went home, yes. And I went back and I used my whole life to train this choir. The choir became the best choir in Oshodi. And I don't want to go into the details of how I met Bishop Michael Okonkwo. I literally, because I heard from the church that I was coming from in Kaduna, Bishop Michael Okonkwo used to be a pastor in the church. The church is called United Church of Christ. And I now heard that it's in Lagos. I knew. I just went. I went to one place I normally buy cassettes. Then it was cassettes. I'll go and buy. I'll be checking when is Kev Franklin going to release a song, when is Ezekiel Walker going to release a song, when is John P going to release a song. I'll go in CPM is in Ocean that time. I mean Ajawa Estates. I'll trek to Ajawa Estate to CPM, I've forgotten them. Then I'll go there to their bookstore because that was the best. Do you know that when I was in Kaduna, I was buying this guy, Today's Music. I've forgotten that guy's name. He normally sends me a message. I've forgotten his name. He's an artist. He does Today's Music. I would travel very far because I couldn't see cassettes to buy. I couldn't see anything to buy. My dad didn't listen to all these things. They listened to all the Igbo songs and everything. So to just go and get whether it's live, whether it's true, any information about gospel music or music, I'll trek that far to go and buy Today's Music and just start looking into it. I say, God, look at this guy, Kev Franklin. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. Look at this person. Wow. I'll look at Faith Ajiboye. Yeah, this one know me well. Faith Ajiboye. And this one used to be part of Extreme. This one started
of course.
Now,
did I come to do something with you at Ajawa Estate?
Yes, that's why we shot the video in that church. Ajawa Estate, yes, in that church. Vineyard Christian Ministry was a church that we did and all of these things. So guess what? By the time I went to this place to buy city, I told them that. I told the woman that started talking to me. I said, man, I'm UCC. This guy. But the woman said, yeah, I know UCC. I don't attend CPM. I just work here. But my pastor, I said, who's your pastor? I said, Bishop Michael. I said, what? Michael Konkwo? Oh, the next time I went there, I just wrote a letter to Michael Konkwo. I'm a member of UCC. I'm a musician. Please, I want to see you. This. And I gave to the woman. Guess what? I didn't go there for about a month. And then, apparently, when Bishop Michael Konkwo saw the letter, for some reason, thing got to him, and he opened it and he saw it, and he told them, that boy, go and get that boy. Whoever gets that, I need to see that boy immediately. Guess what? I didn't go to that place for about a month. And the day I went there to go and check whether they have new products, they must say, what? You want to kill me? They've been looking for you. I said, who? Say, Bishop is looking, Big Daddy is looking for you. I said, you looking for me? How? Say, that letter. And that's how they took. I went to package, dress properly, and I rushed to that place, and I got there, and I waited for like 2-3 hours before he came in, and then next thing, he walked into his office, and they told him that so guy is waiting for you, and I came in, and he said, and his personality alone, I couldn't talk. I couldn't talk when I saw him, and I said, are you the one that sent me the letter? I said, yes, he said, what did you say you do again? I said, I play the bass guitar, I'm a musician. What do you do? I said, I'm a musician. Say, all right, get me Darlington. Darlington was the music director in Tram headquarters at that time. And they couldn't see Darlington. I said, okay, where is Jotu? Get me Jotu. Jotu was the assistant that time. And that's how I say, employ this boy immediately. And I was notionally. Guess what? I stayed at Trem headquarters for about a month. They didn't let me do anything. They didn't even give me any job. And because they heard about me, what I'd done in Oshodi, they felt I was a threat. And when this guy, the Darlington guy, was a Ghanaian, Uncle D, was a Ghanaian, so he wanted to retire. He had gone to tell them that this boy, I feel like it's this boy that can take over from me. And then other people that wanted to take that position fought it. I remember them, and I met one pastor. They now had one of the leaders that come and say, there is another branch of Trem. You know, you are here, there are lots of musicians here, there are everything here. I think for you to function, you have to go to another. I didn't even care. I said, which branch, please? And then I was still working in the church that I was working in Oshodi. Now, guess what? From that church that was paying me 3,000, I just had an idea as an Igbo man. I said, you know what? I'm working in one place that pay me 3,000. Maybe I should get other churches where they can pay me 3,000. That's how I got 2 more churches where they paid me 3,000, and I was getting 9,000 a month. And I remembered that I would direct 3 choirs on a Sunday. I'll sing with 3 choirs on a Sunday. I'll be on a bike, sing with this choir. The moment they're done, I get to the bike, rush to the other place, sing. I get to the bike, rush to the other place, sing. I was going to all of places, taking the choir. And when these guys told me about this church, then the pastor came and said, how much they pay you where you are working before? I said, they pay me 12,000. Say, what, 12,000? No, we can't pay 12,000. No. Will you take 10,000? I said, no, is this a dream? I just said something by chance. So I said 10. I said 10,000. I said, okay, I'll think of, no, I'll take it. I said, think about what? I'm not thinking about it, I'll take it. And then that's how this pastor invited me to his place. It was around June, July. And I remember him, as I finished having a meeting with him the first day, and I stayed with the choir, as I was going, the pastor came and said, hey, take this 5,000 naira. You know, it's not your salary. We're just going to use it just for transportation. I said, 5,000 naira? And I was working for 1 month, 3,000. And this is just as a gift. I said, no way. I can't forget that pastor, Pastor Lulu Bamila. All this, I can remember them because this was part of. And then I remember going back home, and then I started with this choir. So I was taking 3 choirs for 3K, and I was taking this church for 10K. And I remember the first month, Strength of Pemu, they paid me that 10,000 naira. It was, I think, I don't know whether it was, I don't know how much that denomination then, whether it was 1 naira or 10 naira, some denomination like that. It was big like this. The 10,000 naira was so big like this. And I took this money and I went back home. I remember spreading the money on the floor in my room and lying down on it. Like, Father, thank you. Finally. 10,000 naira a month from one place. More than what I collected from 3 churches. And in these 3 churches, I had people that was training on keyboard, training on bass. So every night I had a vigil. Some were working just to survive. I cannot forget that after a while, so November, it was about, I don't know whether it was 6 choir members, whatever members of the choir was there. And then the pastor told me, and by December in the church, they were almost 20 something. The church was bubbling. Guess what? The branch of that church was just about a year old, but it became the fastest growing branch in the whole of Trem worldwide. Because of music, I did everything. We'll go to Mr. Biggs then in Egbeda and arrange for a small mini concert outside Mr. Biggs. And I'll tell all my guys to wear t-shirts and jeans. And we'll start jamming songs like, I believe I can fly. You'll say, is this a church? You'll say, no, it's a church. But I mean, and then we started something with people there. We started what we call Young People's Church. Every Sunday evening, my pastor gave us this freedom. There is nothing like a pastor that understands. He gave us freedom. And we started this Young People's Church, and it became a major service every Sunday evening. I was not going anywhere. I just want to spend my whole life in the church. I remember as they were saying that this church is the fastest growing branch. And I said, so January, my pastor calls me. That was from July till December. And I remember the guy saw that he had 20 something choir members. Church was growing very fast. Adeswa was a member of that church. That's how I met Adeswa. Was a member of that church. And then I remember that the person that calls me in January and say, by the end of this year, I want you to get to 50 choir members. I said, you dare not give me a target. You dare not give me a target. That's the last you want to do. Anytime, anywhere, any day. And then this guy says, by the end of the year, 50 choir members. Guess what? As we're getting to, I always did concert. When I was there, I'd already done 1 concert that December. So I was planning on that concert already. So this fearless that people hear about, it started from day 1. So I planned on that concert already for Easter. And then guess what? That Easter we were close to 60 people. And this was the target for the end of the year. I remember going to the pastor, said, you have to double, I've achieved what you want me to achieve. You have to double my salary now. If not, I'll be leaving. They say, what? All the council, all those elders counsel, they're not gonna say, who is he? What does he think he is? I said, but you told me to achieve this thing by the end of the year. I've done it in less than 4 months. I just want you to double my salary, or maybe I've done what you want me to achieve. I'm leaving. What was working? I said, if you don't give me, I'm going. Already, I started having some people calling me somewhere. So by the time the pastor said, okay, we're going to do, and then by the end of the month, they gave me 12,000 instead of 10,000. But me, I was asking for 20. And then I just quit. I left. I had another church that was calling me for 17,000. I just went to the church. Straight up. Anyways, outside all of these things, I'm going to skip all the other process because of time and get to one situation that changed my life forever. So I started Extreme. I remember that when I started the stream, we did a lot of videos. This one girl here, she was working with Big Milk. She would pack her clothes for a week and come because all we did was videos. I didn't know what studio is to go and rehearse in the studio. I didn't know what it is. So I was doing
Up
videos upon
until then,
videos.
you've not stepped into a studio.
No, it was only just church, choir. And I remembered getting into this particular. I mean, I was taking Vineyard at that time. The Vineyard Church in Nigeria said that I came for the shoot, and then I started. I said I was going to start this group because I loved Kirk Franklin so much. I'd listened to him so much. I had this vibe. I had a connection with him. So I told my guys, you know what? There's something missing in the Nigerian gospel industry. It was only, hey, wait, oh, Jesus, I thank you. Well. I said, let's do like a choir piece kind of thing. Let's use pidgin English and write some special song. Why are they always singing Oyibo, American song, even as choir special number and praise and worship? Why can't we use Nigerian song as special number? Can we write something that choirs can do? That was all that was in my head. And I remembered that, okay, the way this thing is going, let me set up a group like Kirk Franklin. That's how I got out. Guess what? When Extreme started, we were 100 and something people.
Wow.
I had Extreme singers, I had Extreme steppers, the dance group, I had Extreme theater. That's so everything that I do now, I started it from the first time Extreme started. And then I remember we started doing this rehearsals, videos upon videos, preparing for this concert. And the first concert we did, which was when Extreme formally started with the concert, we didn't even say we are inaugurated or anything, was February 15th, 2004. Now I got to Lagos in 1999. 2004 was my first concert. And I remember in that concert, I invited Bouqui'S. Bouqui'S was like a big guy at that time. I hired equipment, everything. We did all the rehearsals. Everything I was hiring and doing, I didn't have money to pay back. Confidently, I just arranged everything. I remember we did the concert, finished the concert. As we just finished the concert, I escaped. I went somewhere to go and hide. And I was waiting for everybody to go. I'll call my guys and ask them, has Bouqui'S left? They say, Bouqui'S, I was supposed to pay Bouqui'S 20,000 naira at that time. That was his honorarium, 20,000. I didn't have it. As people packing, they packed the equipment and left. I was there that night until they all left.
Wow.
And then Nana came out. I said, we're going to have to go and look for money. That one pastor that promised me money. And fast forward, I went to this pastor's place. That's around 11:30 thereabouts. Once said, if you don't finish the concert, we should just come anytime. I got there. This pastor was nowhere to be. He didn't open the door for us. Finally, they opened the door. We waited for like 1 hour. The pastor did not come down. And then me and my then friend became manager. Said, let's be going home. I was still wearing the clothes that I came with. I did the concert with. I remember that time I wore one black pants, black trouser for about 3 years. That was only my best clothes. So, guess what? As we were going home, and this was one of the most difficult times in my career that I cannot forget. We got to Oshodi, and then I was looking at my house, like it was like 2 minutes walk to my house, and then suddenly this OPC guy stopped us. I don't say I shouldn't go to that story. This OPC guy stopped us.
I think you are sitting down.
They asked us, where are you guys going to? Whatever. I say, that's my house there. They say, okay, come and show us your house. And we're walking to that place, and we got to that place. And I looked at this building. I pointed our house to them. Next, they all shoot their head like this. I say, wow. I say, yes, this building, this finally, that we have not paid security bill for over 12 years. I'm just squatting with somebody. I don't even own the house. And then they said, today we will deal with you. This guy started beating us. Beat us. They now went to one place that there was this soldier ants and told us to lie on it. And he was biting us. They used machetes to flog us. That was my first concert. Just imagine the kind of thing I saw after my first concert ever to start my career. These guys flogged us. We had blood on our back. And they say every time they hit us, we'll be shouting hallelujah. They go, wow, yeah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Because we told them we're coming from church. I remember one girl in one of the choir I was taking was living just directly opposite where they were beating us. And I started calling the girl, Elizabeth, Elizabeth. And I saw them as if they were opening the door. I didn't know they were locking their door properly. So nobody answered us. So what they did was they took us to different places where you had all the stops where the OPC guys was, and told them that we were armed robbers, criminals that they caught. So everyone went to, those people did their own beating too. They were taking us around, taking us to their different posts, and they were beating us till they took us back to our place. I was beaten, I was so messed up. And they told me to go upstairs, go to my compound, and go and wake everybody up. That was around 4. We met them around 12. So we should go and gather everybody in the compound and show them. They held my manager. I went upstairs, came down, I told them I couldn't knock for anybody. How would I, in my condition? I went and told them that nobody want to come out, nobody agreed to open the door. They said, first to go, you just come and pay some money. I was on drip that day, the next day. But let me just skip everything and just move to when things just changed a bit. I remember in the midst of the struggle I just was going on, we kept recording. I'd done every year, I would do like 3-4 concerts, and we'll save from all the choirs that I teach. I'll plan a concert, the money will finish, I'll still be owing, and then there's nothing to show for it. And then I'll start playing again. I'll swear that I'm not going to do any other concert, but I'll start playing again. And we kept going on and on and on and on. So one day I'd recorded some songs. Fast forward to sometime in 2005 or so, I'd recorded some songs already. I've dropped 1 or 2 singles, and then I remember coming to the island again. So I'd met Pastor Tony Rapo, and I'm sure you know Pastor Tony very well. And then I started, I'd come to minister in God Bless Nigeria the first time. So Pastor Tony heard my music and started and called all the workers and said, I've been talking about this sound for over 15 years. Nobody, who is this guy? Get me this guy. This is the sound I've been looking for since, because I tried to do something different from what everybody was doing. So by the time somebody, Pastor Flourish was Flo, who has my number that time because he was playing for Midnight Crew. He called me, guy, Pastor Tony. I said, which Pastor Tony? That Pastor Tony, one pastor said, we're in Warri somewhere. And I can't tell the story of that Warri journey. We just rushed back that night. The next morning, we got to Lagos like around 4. We're not supposed to leave in the midnight, but because that kind of person, I went to stadium that time. I played that day, the Sunday, and then that was precisely December 14th. And he told us that, you know what, I want you guys to, can you guys come to 31st night in our church and play? I said, oh yeah, anytime. 31st night when we got there, I remember some of the pastors saying that, you know, I heard that you guys are very energetic. This place is lucky. The guys here are posh. You cannot do too many. So we started all cool. At some point, I looked at my guy. I say, the ones that will happen, they will not invite us again, right? We cannot. We scattered everywhere. Finish. People that the pastor was saying, don't. The lesson here, you cannot be any other thing than being original, except what God has told you to be. Every time anybody advises you not to be that, trust me, they're making you miss out and lose out and go another way altogether that you're going to struggle. It might take you a long time. I did my thing there, and I thought, you know what, they will never invite us again. But people came and said, wow, that's so powerful, that's so wonderful, man. You're truly, okay, please, can they get you again? And all of that. And Pastor Tony now tells me that, can you come and spend, you know how Pastor Tony talk, just come and spend 3 months with us, you know, let's just.
Can you, sister, can you come and you have like 3 months?
Three months, just 3 months. Just come and do something. That's how I went to God Bless Nigeria, and then I started working there because Pastor Tony wanted a particular sound for those guys there, and nobody was able to create it. So he told me to go and help him create it. And I went there.
Didn't we sing on the same night? Didn't we sing on the same night?
I think we sang the same night, that first night. Yeah, I think so. And I remembered by the time I went back to these guys in that God Bless Nigeria, they were rehearsing once a week. And I told them that this has to change. I changed the rehearsal from once a week to 3 times a week. All the musicians, they were mad at me. We started working so hard. People started joining the choir. I remember we were so good that Pastor one day told us to come and sing at the headquarters, which was Dome. And I packed all the choir members there, and we toured the place. The video is still online. If you check my help, type LCGC, I think so. You see the video. I worked on my help. I will lift up my eyes to the hill. I had moments I made it high life. I did different things. People were screaming in the church, and we're these local touts from Surulere Church that came to bust the whole environment. So before then, though, I remembered one day before they employed me at TPH, I remember one day some one of the pastors there told me, Bumi George told me that she wants to see me. I didn't even know her very well then. I should come and meet her in one salon in Lekki. That was my first time of entering Lekki Phase 1 properly. So I took a cab because I didn't want to go there with bike and all of this. So I took a cab. By the time I got to the place, I was asking her, she just told me, and I finally got the place where I was supposed to be. When I got there, I remember as I stepped into the salon, I said, Jesus Christ, what kind of salon is this? And then one lady there just told me, that, are you looking for Bumi? I say, yes. How did you know? Say, okay, that's her. I say, oh, I don't want. And my instinct was simple. Anybody you see, just give him all your demos, all your CDs, just give them. So I finished talking with Bumi. Say, okay, we're going to have you come around, you know, this. I gave her my CD. As I was going, I met the lady that told me, that's Bumi there. I said, you say, oh, no, you came to our church that first night. I said, yes. I said, please, this is my CD. He said, oh, okay. And then all of those things. And then she left. Just like 2 weeks after, the lady called me and said, I've been listening. I've not listened to any other thing in my car since I got your CD. I mean, but it's not in the market now. I said, no, we'll not release it to you. Just something I just gave you, you know. Say, no, are you saying it's not in the market? That was the Akidiba album. Are you saying it's not in the market? I said, no, it's not in the market. So what? What do you mean? Why would it not be in the market? I said, nothing. I'm just still working on it. The lady, then later, about like a month after, this lady called me again. No. This work has to go to the market. You know what? Can you please come and see me? I said, see you where? I said, come to Lekki. I said, okay. And I went to Lekki. And this is where I'm going to end. And this is just the beginning of how everything turned around. And I met this lady. We sat that time in, I think, one tasty fried, KFC. It was my first time of entering KFC too. And then the lady bought some things. And I was looking at chicken. I said, hey, see chicken. I just married myself, but I was she said, hey, she bought it with ice cream. Like, it felt like, Father, I'm in heaven. No! So things can be sweet like this. I kept eating it. And I remember when we finished this, the woman said, man, you're so blessed, you're so talented. You know, I don't know why you don't want to. I said, I want to release it to. He said, God spoke to her to bless me. And guess what? Before then, I remember somebody giving me a 10,000 naira check one time like that. I went to the bank maybe 12, 15 times for the check. And the check never came through. I spent more than 10,000 for transport to go and get the 10,000 naira that never came. So my whole experience about checks was very bad. But somebody else had given me 150,000 naira before I was planning our first concert as Extreme. I just met the man and say, applying the concert after service, applying the concert. The man say, hey, concert, okay, whatever it is. Okay, let me give you something small. And let me see. And the guy wrote the check, gave me. I opened the check, it was 150,000. Like, immediately, I felt like going to the toilet. I felt like using, everything happened to me at the same time. I rushed to the toilet. I didn't want anybody to see it. I kept it in the flat. I was looking at the check, like I said, no, can this be true? I remember giving to a friend of mine that works in the bank. Let's say, give me. I'll pay it first thing in the morning tomorrow before the guy removes any money in his account. I'll check the money. And on Monday morning, the lady has checked. Oh, there's money in the account. I'll take it off immediately. I'll put it. That's how I saw that 150K enter my account. I said, Jesus, that was my first big money. But guess what? That was the best. Every acting had not happened that time. So looking at this lady that was telling me, God told me to bless you. And my mind, 5K, 10K, 25K. But what if this woman give me 50,000 naira? What will happen? As I was calculating, I said, but I'm not one of those people that beg for money. So the lady was still looking at my countenance. What I'm going to say, I don't want. So please just take it. It was God that told me. I said, the woman gave me the check. I know I don't open check in somebody's presence and say, okay, so I just kept it. The woman asked, I said, okay, take care of yourself. I'm going, please, thank you so much. Please don't say no to it. And the woman left. I don't open the check. Guess what? I think it was 2 million naira or 2.5 million. I said, no. I took the check. I started pushing the woman. I said, excuse me. The woman said, please don't reject it. Don't, Mama, reject. I said, so my son is laughing here. The woman said, please don't reject it.
Can we see your son? Can we see your son?
Come, Bobo.
Come. That's so funny. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Nice to see you.
So So when the lady was saying, hey, man, please don't reject it. It was God that told me to give you. I said, oh, I said, no. But do you know what you wrote here? He said, yes, I know. Yes, I know. Please. And the one told me, and I left. Guess what? As I was going, I suddenly felt like everybody was looking at me. So, why is everybody looking at me? How did they know that I have this kind of money? Why? I got into the bus, I sat down, and I just saw that everybody was still looking at me. I said, what is it? How did this guy? I heard money, I was like this throughout. And I remember going back home, I did not talk to anybody. I went quietly, I hid the money somewhere, I laid down, I just said, God, this money, and this is true, and this is true. Guess what? By the time I woke up the next day, I just rushed. I went to give my brother. I said, I know this cannot be true, but just let us try. Then my bank friend, what? Who gave you this kind of money? I said, I don't know. Hey, it's one lady like that. I don't even know her. I don't know anything about her. I just gave her my CD one time like that. The man now went, cashed the money. The money entered my account. My dear. Do you know I didn't touch that money for 6 months? The money I was supposed to use to go and shoot video. The man said, shoot a video, do everything. I didn't. I was scared to touch it. See what poverty can do. I was scared to touch the money. That was what we used to release Agriba album. That's what we used to shoot Agriba video. That's what we used to do all of this, and that's where the career started. And guess what? After that time, it was still very, very tough. And guess what? See, today, it is not easy either. We just keep pushing. Every day, the target that I set for myself, if you hear it, do you know that you were asking me earlier, how did you spend your lockdown? I didn't even rest. The work I did during the lockdown,
Yeah.
do you know that I'm working on 5 albums. I have
Wow.
3 ready already. Between that time and now, I've done over 30 songs. It was during this lockdown that God gave me the idea you can do an online reality show on Instagram. Everybody thought, I called my guys because we had canceled everything. I said, what's he doing? They said, what doing? How? I said, on Instagram. How are you going to do? Hey, both judges, everything. We had an amazing time, and everybody that knows Soundcheck,
Yeah.
it was epic.
Yeah.
Guess what? Every time I finished Soundcheck, by the time I stopped the Instagram thing, we had between 12 and sometimes to 20,000 people that have come online for it.
I watched it.
During this same lockdown, I came to my house one day, one calling song that I released. I just felt like God was saying that the reason everywhere is in this chaos is because we have all moved out, everybody, and God wants our attention back. And I just wrote that. I mean, somebody was holding the lyrics for me when I was singing it. The first part, how many times you keep calling my name back to you? How many? Because I just wrote it immediately and started singing it. How many times I keep going my way far from you? How many times? I don't know immediately, and I sang it. I recorded everything live. It wasn't like I went to the studio. As I was singing in that video, I just told guys, come, because I have people in my house with the cameras. They just use the camera immediately and record. I'm going to just freestyle. Anything I just sing, just follow me. That's how they kept the camera. Blah, 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 blah. We recorded it. The guy went and I said, this is what I just felt like during this COVID-19. And during this COVID-19 time that was lockdown and everything, I've been so busy that like every day every day different ideas, different things keep popping in my head. And I was working. And I told people, lots of my pastor's friends, that listen, guys, let's focus online. This whole 4 walls and buildings is not going to work again. Things have changed. Everything is happening online, that nobody was listening. And I predicted 3 years ago that in the next 10 years, the main church will be online. The 4 walls will become the church supporting the online church. Right now, is the building that is the main church, and online is supporting the main church. It's going to change very soon. And I guess what? I think that God has been trying to get our attention to this, and nobody was listening. And you know what? We are like those children of Israel and Pharaoh. And God is saying, allow my work to go to another level. Interestingly, we are now the pharaohs holding God's work. stopping God's work, not allowing anything to move. And God had to bring the same pandemic he brought. In those days, it was 10 of them. This time around, he just thrown one just to get us back to him. And guess what? All of us want to go back to where we were before. Everybody has been shouting about going back to the normal, going back to the normal, going back to the normal. When God is telling us to move forward to the new normal, and we're all fighting to go back to the old normal. Guess what? God has used this whole pandemic and lockdown and this chaos, everything, to remind us to come back to him. And people are not listening, including the church. We're not listening. Everywhere I go, all I hear is, let's go back. We can't wait to go back to the normal. We can't wait to go back to the normal. How about the scripture that the Bible says that I will do, behold, I will do a new thing. How come that, we have the Pentecostals today, and before now, we have the Catholics, and we're doing two different things. Pentecostal started, it was so radical, and God is saying, I've even moved from this Pentecostal. There's something new I want to do, but the Pentecostals are holding back. They don't want to release, they don't want to open up, and God has used the pandemic to chase us out. Still, we want to go back to the former. Guess what? Going back to the former is what even happens in our life. How many of us can think about sometimes that you're in a relationship that was bad and the guy beats you up and everything, but because the guy always talks to you regularly, you feel like it is better to go back. Remember the children of Israel? They got somebody that was going to save them. The guy moved all the children of Israel and they got to the sea. And guess what? The children of Israel started saying, man, look, we're going to be drowned here. Can we go back? At least that place, they were only beating us, they were only serving us. How come the things that you hated before, the things that was not working before, because you don't know what to do moving forward, you want to go back to those things that you hated, those relationships that you hated, those past lives that you hated, those things that never worked, that you were complaining about just 3 months ago. You praying to go back to them, and God is saying, move forward to the new normal. I'm doing a new thing, but people are not listening. I've said it a million times. They are not listening. Pastors are not listening. Churches are not listening. Christians are not listening. They keep trying to stay back with the old thing. God keeps doing. In fact, the demons we have now, our forefathers didn't know about them. Every day the devil is releasing new demons, and we're back still holding on to the past. And God is moving every day. One of the things that I've heard and I've said over and over again, even revelation is progressive. Revelation is progressive. It's not one. The one you had last 10 years does not mean that that's what God is saying now. We have to keep moving. We have to keep listening. We have to keep seeing. We have to keep pushing to hear what is God saying today. Why did this happen? God wants us to move. How come that churches are shying away from social media because they think it's a bad thing? It's just because Christians are not handling it. Christians are not going there. So the bad people are using it, and it feels like it's a bad thing. I always say that if you have $10 million in your hand, if it's in the hand of a bad person, it becomes bad money. If it's in the hand of the good person, it becomes good money. $10 million is money, but it depends on who is holding it. Why are we shying away? Why are we fighting progress? Why are we fighting change? Christians will fight that and will keep saying, the way. That's why till today, if they see a whiskey in church, they will get upset. But if they get out, they will play whiskey song and dance to it. That is the kind of hypocrisy and fake life and pretense that we live with every day in church. And I can go on and on and on with this. But the truth is that if anybody has said anything, one of the things that inspires me so much is, God, I want to see a fresh side of you. I did say to some people sometimes that some of you are working for God, but you are not working with God. You're working for God, you're not working with God. It's possible that you're being religious, going to church every day, doing everything you're supposed to do in church, and you don't have it's not religion that we're talking about, it's relationship. You and God, you have a personal relationship with God. And that's what is keeping me moving. Every time I think of what is God saying now? What is God saying now? So it's possible to have an online, and people have called me, how do you think it? How do you think it? People from America everywhere. This thing is possible that the voice or any of these guys will hear it and start applying the same pattern that you did. We are so blessed with so many things, but the past that God told us about, those days, the Egypt that held us back, the Egypt where we were tormented, we feel comfortable there because we're now arriving at the Red Sea and we don't know what will happen. Are we going to pass through it? Are we going to be drowned? Are we going to die? And that's what we keep saying. Look at the pandemic. Look at COVID-19. What is going to happen? We're all dying. Can we go back to the old normal? Can we go back to the old normal? Guys, let's go to the new. And every day, that's the challenge I give myself. I want to hear what God is saying today. I don't want yesterday's mercy, brand new mercy. He gives that every day, brand upgraded, updated, brand new mercy, and the mercy of today cannot carry it tomorrow. So God, I want a fresh one. I want a fresh idea. I challenge myself every day. Everything that I've succeeded doing in the past becomes the biggest problem that I have because I hate them now. I want something new. And that's the energy that I work with, whether with writing songs, whether, guess what? Some of the songs I'm working on now, it has never been done. That sound never been done in Nigeria. People, I'm not even interested whether people like it or not. I just want to do what God is telling me. You know that in church today, when praise and worship leaders are leading, if the pastor is not smiling, they think they're not doing well. They are never singing for God. Most of the praise and worship in churches today is not for God they are singing. They're thinking, is the pastor really accepting this? And pastor is not smiling. Maybe I didn't sing well. Is it about the pastor? Is it about even the church? Or we're trying to sing to the heavens? We're trying to sing to God. Is it not God that we're supposed to be singing to? There's so much that we're supposed to do that is not working right now. And God is saying, I have moved. I've left this thing. They are still holding back to it. How about the young people? How about the next generation? They don't want to go to your church. They don't want to hear your music. And you're still comfortable because the music you heard 20 years ago is what you think that is the best. Things have changed. What is it that you have that attracts some believers? The idea is not to push them away. The idea is to attract them. I don't even call them unbelievers. I call them soon to become believers because nobody, God does not even hate sinners. God just hates sin. So everybody is loved by God. So why are we creating this barrier and boundary and thinking that who even told you that you are righteous? Who even told you that you're God's own? Our righteousness is but filthy rag before Him. So when are we going to wake up and accept the reality that we're living in today? How are we going to pattern and put ourselves together in a way that it's only today that some churches started doing online services? They never did it before. I have a friend of mine that called me from America, and their church has never done online service before. They were trying to learn it for the first time in 2020. I want to save souls. We want to depopulate hell. We're losing it. We're not in charge. We're not in charge. We're talking about Christian. We pray. We have 40 days vigil. And of course, we'll go back to the office and we'll become useless. Because overnight, for 40 days, you've been going to church, praying, and you go to the office, you're unproductive. You cannot do anything. And we're saying, our God is, the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. And who is the richest man in Africa? A Muslim. And then every day, as Christians, where do we all travel to as Christians? Dubai, a Muslim country. When are we going to wake up? When are we going to understand what we have? When are we going to stop being stupid and stop thinking about politics and how we can become elders in church and how we can become pastors and how we can become deacons and how we can take offering and how we can take announcement in church, battling and fighting for that and start focusing on the things that are important? When are we going to do that? And this is my drive. This is my drive beyond going to any church to go and sing. This is my drive beyond trying to become famous. I never got into music because I wanted to be famous. I didn't even know that they paid people for show. I just loved what I did. The first time somebody gave me money after show, I was saying, I don't understand, what is this money for? I've been paid 1K. I've been given checks that bounce over and over again. Till December, January, some churches that went to minister in this December period have not paid me till today. So if it was for the money, I would have stopped a long time. But guess what? God keeps blessing me. Because my attitude, my mind, I know. And people look at me, and because I'm not one of those people that would not shave my hair properly or would wear suits, maybe a suit that is not ironed, or even maybe add small smell in my body, or even look sad, then I'm not a worshiper, I'm not anointed. Because what we think and call anointing is when somebody is looking sad, somebody is looking demoralized, somebody is quiet, somebody is smelling, somebody puts Bible. That's what we call anointing. And when we see the guy on stage, say, look at this guy, look at how, this guy is anointed. Because he's singing some of your favorite songs. And that's why I'm singing, he's anointed. And you're not thinking about the fact that this generation has moved. People don't want to listen to what you do in your church again. They don't even want to come to that church again because every time they come in, all they see, we have to prepare. No, the same way they're talking about Nigeria. We're speaking about Nigeria as, all the elders, since that many years, they say that we are leaders of tomorrow till today. Even the church. Nobody's trying to give the baton to the younger ones. Nobody's trying to mentor the young ones to say, okay, this is how to do, this is how to do it. Most of the pastors that are big pastors today started when they were 23, 24, 25, 26. But they will not allow you. They will not allow you. So you're not thinking that until you get to 40 and you don't feel like, man, I had this call since. Because nobody mentored you. Everybody's selfish. Every pastor wants his son to take over, whether the son is called into ministry or not. So it's a total mess. And we have to wake up as Christians. And I keep saying it. I don't care whatever happens, but I'll keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. Guess what? They are complaining in America that the guy cannot breathe. The guy's leg was on this guy's neck. Even in the church, our necks have been under their leg. If I have 4 power source, solar, inverter, electricity, NEPA, and generator, their leg is on my neck. I can't breathe. If I was sleeping the night and generator all over the whole Lagos is in my ear, their legs are on my neck. I can't breathe. If I'm traveling on a bad road and I'm afraid of accidents, guess what? In Nigeria, the legs of the government has been on our neck since. But even the young people, we are all cowards. We cannot come out and protest. We cannot fight. We cannot fight for our own rights. That's what happens. Even in the church, the same thing. Everywhere is a total mess. And until we wake up, I can't believe that we don't have young 20, 21, 22-year-olds that are into ministry and that could be doing exploits. But because nobody wants to allow anybody. If any young person comes out, in fact, if you're a musician in Nigeria and you dare to become a pastor, they will shut down on you. Who are you? And you rather be a musician and be 40 years and see somebody that is maybe 30 and you start saying, thank you, sir, yes, sir, daddy. You start calling them daddy because all we want is that whole feeling of, do you know that some people are more proud of their pastor than they are proud of God? Some people brag about their church than they brag about. They've never bragged about God before, but they can fight because of their church. That is what they fixed in our head. That is what they fixed in our head, and that's what is running with us. But those things have to change. God is tired, and God is doing a new thing, but they're not listening. I think I can honestly tell you that this pandemic, this whole thing is to drive Christians. God has used Koboko to chase us out of the church. Get into there, get into politics, get into all these places and take charge. Stop staying in church and locking yourself out and saying we're all light. And because there are too many lights in church now, we are blind ourselves. Nobody can see again. We're meant to go and shine in darkness, not shine in light. That's what's up. And that's what I'm going to be ending. Thank you so much. I don't want to continue. I don't want to push too much.
Wow. Listen, man. Are you going to become a pastor?
Never. Never.
Well,
no, I have ministries that I run. And so I felt like I've been talking about this thing too much, and it's still being a coward to talk about it and not do something about it. So I decided to start doing something about it. So I have a ministry that I run called Monday Night Live. We normally meet, but because of the COVID-19, we now meet online every Mondays. But it has developed now, and I'm not making the announcement yet, but it has developed now. And guess what? We are strategically building and planning it. Some of things we have been planning since January is supposed to evolve around September, October. But Bouquie, I'm telling you the truth, we're planning it real hard. Even the devil will be taken unawares. We're planning it real hard, prayerfully. And it's not going to be a church. Some of the people that are here have heard me say it. Number one, we'll engage culture. We'll counter religion. We'll win fearlessly. And we'll live abundantly. So it's not like becoming a Christian means that you become useless in the society. No. So all of these things, but I would never be part of the whole. I'm not saying church is bad. I'm not saying pastor is bad. I'm just saying that thing is, I think, what the devil has used to box us up. And the moment people look at you and say, "You're a pastor," oh no.
Jide, my brother said, pastor is a formal word. He's already a pastor. He can call it whatever he wants to call it. Exactly.
So my point is that, again, strategies are very key. What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? Guess what? Muslims know how to sponsor stuff. I mean, somebody told me about Saudi Arabia dropping $500 million in West Africa for anybody that is a Muslim that has talents, for them to build the person and train the person and work on the person's brain. And this is a 10 years plan. And they drop out. The person they gave this job says, "I'm a Christian, I cannot be the one doing this." And they look for another person and give it to. It's real. I'm not talking about story. It's reality. Whilst we are busy in church trying to become elders and deacons, or ministers, or hold the mic to lead praise and worship, people are having agendas. They're planning that, strategically working on it, having 10 years, 20 years plan, some 30 years plan. Meanwhile, Christian is about who has the highest members in church. It's not about even people that will give their life It's people that will move from one church, what I call church prostituting. They just move from one church to another church. I don't like the way this pastor talked to me today. Let me go to another church. This pastor is good. But look at how that guy is thinking. Let me go. That's what happens. So people are just going in cycle of one church to the other. We're not winning any souls. Nothing. So the strategy is more important for me than the position. Title is what devil has used to kill us. So I'm not interested in title. But am I going to say the truth? Yes. Am I going to teach the word of God? Yes. With my own understanding, I'm going in for it. I'm still going to do my music. I have other things. I've gotten into business too because I don't want to beg anybody for money. I don't want to beg anybody for money. God has to supply, and God can never send you anywhere and not provide what it takes for you to get that done. He might not give you the full thing, but He will give you enough to take you the next step. And that's how I work with God. Every step has been provided for. It always comes. It always comes.
Whoa, every step of the way. I always say it, you do not manufacture as a promoter. The kingdom that you're representing will back you up with the relationships and the resources you need. You cannot manufacture what you need to promote a kingdom. That would be unfair. They will provide you, take, go and sell. It's just fair, you know. Wow, everybody's saying, Tim, you're busting my brain. Wow, listen, man, we have 3 minutes more. Tim, thank you so much. You still owe me. Remember when I came to Nigeria, you said, Bouquie, come, let me do, you owe me. So are you going to start me now? Like, Bouquie, use this talent and do music. Do you still, are you going to have time?
I mean, are you coming to Nigeria soon?
No. But you know now we don't have to. I
know. We can walk around something, babes. Trust me, we can walk around something. There's something.
Okay,
come on,
cool.
you.
Listen, man, I've watched your journey. I've watched you, and I just want to say we love you. Can I get 100? We love you, Tim Godfrey. Can I just get we love you? Because listen, man, I believe in functionality over title. I don't care about title, because it is the function that justifies the title. So if you have the title and you're not doing it, you might as well drop the title, you know? So you are a pastor, you are a shepherd, and God will continue to bless you. And I know you're very busy, but you've given us 2 hours. We thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. If we want to join Monday Night Live, how do we join?
I mean, basically Mondays, 8 p.m. every Monday, I'll be live on Instagram. The other thing we're planning is we're still building it, but 8 p.m. every Monday, I'm live on Instagram, and I just teach. I simply just teach.
We love you, man.
And the revelations that God give me every time is crazy. Sometimes I'm even scared. So powerful, so fresh, so fresh. Never heard before. I'm excited about it.
Wow. Amen, amen. We're bringing you definitely to Delaware once this is over. You know I'm the youth pastor of my church. We're bringing you over to Delaware. We love you so much. God bless you. You are an amazing person. Your light will continue to shine. God will continue to bless you. Listen, man, everything you went through was so that you would have a solid foundation. And now you have a solid foundation, and you're building and erecting an edifice that, listen, man, is going to stand forever. And your generations to come will say, thank God, Tim Godfrey is my grandfather, my great grandfather. And we love you so much. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Love you, Bouquie. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Tim.